Все, хана, авто-6. К2 горит.
Вот это прилетело, блядь.
Тут пиздец, я, блядь, еле ушел с-под удара, нахуй. Вот, блядь, туда, вон, въебало. Смотрите, на педколледже, нахуй. Уебало, блядь. Этого, блядь, волною, нахуй, сюда, вот сзади, вот, у 48-го, блядь. Я, блядь, его еле обвильнул, нахуй. И сюда, вправо, блядь. Пизда вообще, мужики, ебать. Я подохуел. А тут пиздец. Я с этого еле ушел, блядь, от этой машины, блядь.
Any annexation of a state's territory by another state resulting from the threat or use of force is a violation of the principles of the United Nations Charter and international law. Yet, that is what the Russian Federation has attempted in Ukraine, causing in the process unspeakable suffering and destruction. Thank you, Mr. President. The principle Russia's intention to conduct presidential elections from today, 15 March, until 17 March in areas of Ukraine under its control are unacceptable. The UN Human Rights Monitoring Mission in Ukraine has documented that past so-called referenda and local elections have been conducted in a coercive environment. Under international humanitarian law, the occupying power, in this case, the Russian Federation, is obligated to uphold the laws of Ukraine in the occupied territories.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me start by thanking Undersecretary. As early voting for the Russian elections enters final days, this much is clear. Russia's tactics of holding sham elections in Ukraine's occupied territory is, in fact, a pattern. General DiCarlo, for briefing us on the current situation in Ukraine. Let's call this what it is. It's a blatant propaganda exercise undertaken in the hopes of somehow strengthening Russia's false claim to the parts of Ukraine it illegally invaded. To hold Russian elections in Ukraine's sovereign territory is proof of the tie between the Kremlin's external aggression and internal repression. It is an affront to the UN's Charter principles that underpin global security and stability. Ukraine's temporarily occupied territory and Ukraine, who call, we continue to condemn this sham election in Ukraine's temporarily occupied territory for what it is, one in a pattern of failed attempts to justify the unjustifiable.
Thank you, President. I thank Undersecretary DiCarlo for her briefing. Ukrainian civilians in Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, Zaporizhia, and Crimea are being forced and intimidated into taking part in a sham election. As the General Assembly has made clear, including in October 2022, when 143 states voted to condemn Russia's attempted illegal annexation, these regions are part of the internationally recognized territory of Ukraine. The people in these territories voted overwhelmingly to join an independent Ukraine in 1991. There is no popular support for Russian rule, historically or today. President, I must first address the latest appalling Russian missile. These elections are a sham because of a simple truth. You cannot hold legitimate elections in someone else's country. These elections are a violation of the UN Charter and a fraud, nothing more. They will not be recognized, just as we will never recognize Russia's attempted annexation of Ukrainian territory.
On behalf of Ukraine, Albania, Andorra, Argentina, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Canada, Chile, Costa Rica, Croatia, Cyprus, Czechia, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Georgia, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Japan, Latvia, Liberia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Marshall Islands, Monaco, Montenegro, the Netherlands, New Zealand, North Macedonia, Norway, Palau, Poland, Portugal, Republic of Korea, Republic of Moldova, Romania, San Marino, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, Uruguay, and the European Union. We condemn in the strongest terms the Russian Federation's illegitimate attempts to organize Russian presidential elections in temporarily occupied areas within the internationally recognized territory of Ukraine. Holding elections in another UN member state's territory without its consent is in manifest disregard for the principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity. Such elections have no validity under international law. We recall the United Nations General Assembly's resolution ESS 11/4, adopted at its emergency special session on October 12, 2022, that declared the Russian Federation's attempts to hold illegal so-called referendums in September 2022 in parts of Donetsk, Kherson, Luhansk, and Zaporizhia regions of Ukraine had no validity under international law and do not form the basis for any alteration of the status of those regions of Ukraine. An overwhelming 143 countries voted in support of the resolution and affirmed core principles under international law by condemning these so-called referendums. We also recall General Assembly Resolution 68/262 of March 27, 2014, which similarly underscored that Russia's referendums held on March 16, 2014 in the Autonomous Republic of Crimea and the city of Sevastopol had no validity and cannot form the basis for any alteration of the status of these regions. We reiterate the UN General Assembly's call to all states, international organizations, and the United Nations specialized agencies not to recognize any alteration by the Russian Federation of the status of the Autonomous Republic of Crimea and the city of Sevastopol, as well as of any or all of the Donetsk, Kherson, Luhansk, or Zaporizhia regions of Ukraine, and to refrain from any action or dealing that might be interpreted as recognizing any such altered status. We demand the Russian Federation refrain from holding illegitimate elections in the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine. We reiterate the General Assembly's call for the Russian Federation to stop its war of aggression against Ukraine and to immediately, completely, and unconditionally withdraw all of its military forces from the territory of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. We reaffirm our unwavering support for Ukraine's independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity within its internationally recognized borders, extending to its territorial waters. The participation in the illegal attempts to organize so-called presidential elections of a foreign country in the territory of Ukraine is illegal, and whoever facilitates this organization of the elections is liable under Ukrainian criminal law. Thank you very much.